So, what beer do you drink, Paul?
I'm a Windhoek lager man.
Are you?
As a rule.
As a rule. Okay, fantastic.
Thanks for asking.
Weekly jobless claims.
Yes, now my theory about this is the one economic number that you need to watch. So we're talking about US weekly jobless claims, and it's normally about 400,000, and it's slipped down in recent weeks, which is good, right? Because if you look at the S&P 500 over the last couple of years, the only thing that it actually matches is that number, which gives, of course, then the obvious conclusion that Americans who dominate world capital markets are totally uninterested in Europe, in the euro, in Greece, all that other stuff. So the number's coming down, so it's the time to buy stocks.
The time to buy stocks. We've actually been saying that it's time to buy stocks for quite some time. Regardless of that, Virgin Money buying Northern Rock.
Very interesting transaction. So you know the story with Northern Rock, apart from sponsoring Newcastle United football, they are like a big savings agent in the UK market. Interestingly, they got into trouble in 2008, and at the time, Virgin Money, which is linked to Richard Branson, wanted to buy them. They were prepared to pay around 1.5 billion pounds. Not billion pounds, trillion pounds. Anyway, big number. Now the thing went into receivership. The UK government had to buy it out. It's now come out of its, kind of closed period. It's nearly nationalized, and now they're going to sell the thing to Virgin for half what it was before.
So it's a good deal for Virgin, clearly.
Well, it seems so. I mean, Virgin is interesting because it's kind of like one of those virtual banks, although the US investor Wilbur Ross has got quite a big stake in it. But I mean, it is interesting because we wouldn't think this would be a good time to be getting into the consumer finance market in the UK. But clearly, there are still 60 million people living there, and they still need to bank. There will be a future. The sun will come up. So maybe Branson's doing another smart deal.
Would you be washing some of that down with some beer, maybe? SAP Miller out with results. I know that you're not into vice stocks, right?
Yes. Now, I mean, I was listening with interest to the earlier conversation, which I thought was fabulous because it does identify the trends. But clearly, SAP Miller not doing particularly well in terms of year-on-year comps in the US and Europe, where they've spent a hell of a lot of money over the last couple of decades
Where
buying.
they should have been spending is Africa, right?
More
so here.
The star asset, it turns out, is South America, where, remember, they bought that business called Bavaria, which had, lots of scope for improving production and professionalizing marketing. They've got a relatively small business still in Asia that there's great potential for. But I don't know. I mean, I guess it is a question. You like the consumer story. I like the idea that people are spending more. The question is, how do you kind of position yourself for that asset? My own concern is, we've seen in Botswana where they raise excise duties on liquor. That in countries like, Australia and New Zealand and all these sorts of places, beer and in fact all spirits are exceedingly expensive because they're trying to curb the social effects of excessive drinking.
But you don't hold SAB Miller.
Well, yeah, we don't. It's been fantastically successful, and as has British America Tobacco. I mean, they're not the only vice stock in the market. We've also got, obviously, the gaming stocks.
Yeah, Giokos was out with results today as well.
And Giokos already quite a big company, 20 billion market cap, not unattractive, much bigger than Sun International. But for me, no thanks.